This is the History of New Zealand podcast on the Eat to My Own Beat podcast network. Welcome back to the History of Portugal podcast. This is episode 144. The definitive conquest of the Algarve between 1238 and 1249. Alcutum, in the modern-day district of Algarve, was captured in 1238, as was Ayamonte, east of the Gardenia River, by D. Sancho II with a fleet. The mountain ranges of the Algarve constituted a serious obstacle to the march of the Portuguese hosts to the south and southwest. The commander of the Knights of Santiago in Portugal, Pio Perez Correia, managed to cross them in 1238, still with the support of Garcia Rodriguez, a knight who knew their pathway well due to his previous occupation as merchant, which allowed the Knights of Santiago to bypass the main Muslim castles that they guarded to the mountain paths, marching by night and camping by day, hidden in the valleys. The first castles to be taken there were those of Alvor and Estobar, in the region of Silves. From there, raids which was launched in the rich fields around the important city. By agreement from the Emir of the Algarve Musa ibn Muhammad ibn Nasser ibn Mahfuz, Pio Perez Correia exchanged them for the castle of Castella Velha, much further east, close to the Ayamonte. After a failed surprise attack on the castle of Padern, the important town of Tavera was taken by the Knights of Santiago. Located in one of the few roads that crossed the Algarve lengthwise, and gave access to the Alenteque. The castle of Saler was then taken. Silves was taken by deception. A small detachment of knights were sent to attack the castle of Estobar, and false information was spread that Pio Perez Correia led at the head of this force. Once the emir had left with his troops in the direction of Estobar, the walls were scaled and the city was taken. Paderne was captured shortly after, with its entire garrison being slaughtered. The minor mountain castles of Mocheque, Montegudo, Marachique, Urique, and Mecenas are likely to have subsequently surrendered after Silves was taken. By 1249, only the settlements of Aljussar, Faro, Lule, Albufeira still remained in the Muslim hands, their lords, and submitted to the authority of Menares of Morocco, and were difficult to take without the support of the fleet. Once Alfonso III had emerged victorious from the civil war that pitted him against his brother, he crossed the mountains of the Algarve in the first weeks and marched through Almodovar at the head of his royal host. He was accompanied by his main supporters during the Civil War, first among them Dom Geo de Aboime, but also the heads of the military order, such as the Master of the Order of the Calatrava in Portugal, Dom Lorenzo Afonso, and the Grand Master Pio Perez Correia at the head of the Knights of Santiago, accompanied by Goncalo Perez Magro, commander of the Murtola. The important port city of Faro was sieged first, expecting reinforcements from North Africa. The Cade of Faro Albuamir mounted some resistance, but once the Portuguese fleet sailed up the river and blocked the port, and the city surrendered, thus avoiding pointless bloodshed and ensuring the inhabitants in a favorable status under Portuguese authority. Once Faro was captured, Louis surrendered after a little resistance. Porches and Albufeira surrendered to the Dom Lorenzo Afonso. Aljussar, the last town in the Algarve still in Muslim hands, was finally taken on the morning by Grandmaster Pio Perez Correia. Thank you for listening to the History of New Zealand podcast. We're found on YouTube and anywhere else you could find your normal podcasts. Please like, comment, and subscribe, or find us at www.eatsmyownbeat.com.